Hello, grade fives or anyone else who needs to know how to do this. So I am going to show you how to blend colors properly and create shading using oil pastels. And the things that you will need are your oil pastels, a tissue or paper towel, a piece of paper, or you will be working in your sketchbook. And I like to use a piece of paper on my table so I don't get bits of oil pastel in it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my colors. And I'm usually going to have a darker or lighter color. I'm going to show you two different ways. Let's just say I'm going to do blue and white. And I'm going to make sure that I just clean off the white with my, so you don't want any little bit of specks of dirt from another color. You can also do that with both colors. And I'm going to start with my dark color. And I'm not going to go like this. That's too light to do blending. Okay? That is way too light to do blending. So I'm going to press harder. And I can hold my page. And I'm going to go back and forth and kind of cover the white. And you go back and forth. And you have to have a firm pressure. And I think we've talked about pressure before, using pencil crayons and pencils. Pressure means a lot when you're using art materials. It really, I can just kind of tap it off. I don't want to go like this because when I do that, it'll smudge onto my paper. It'll get on my fingers. So I can just go like that. If I want to lightly just go like that, I can. But be careful because you will pull it onto your paper. Next, I'm going to take my lighter color. And I might do white just to show you. We could do a lighter version. I'm going to do a couple different versions. And I'm going to start blending. And I'm going to start kind of at the bottom. And the reason is that I want to pull down the color. So I want to kind of go back and forth and pull down the color a little bit. And I'm using the same pressure. And I'm kind of picking up the little pieces as I go. And I go back and forth. And each time I go further down, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay? And there we go. And you can see I've shown value using pastels. But I kind of also, and I can, because I'm still using the same color, it's fine, but I can still just wipe it off if I want a little bit. I can go back in here where I picked up the color at first, and in small circular movements, I can just kind of blend it a little bit more to make it a little bit lighter as I go up and just to create a more even shade. Actually, this is a tint. When we use white, we're making tints. So there's one way of doing this. Another way is blending two different colors. So I showed you how to make a tint using white and a color, but now I'm just going to blend two colors. And you don't want to blend colors that are that don't work well together. So we're going to look at our color wheel. Oops, and I'm going to just show you that we don't want to go across on the color wheel. We want colors that are in the same section. They're either similar warm colors or they're colors that are neighbors. And I call them, like, yellow would be orange and green. Blue would be green and purple. Red would be orange and purple. So you want them to be in the same, I guess, color section in order for it to work. If you mix yellow and purple, it's going to turn out kind of icky and maybe a little bit brown. So you don't want to do something that's opposite. You want to do something that works together. So I'm going to choose two other colors. Maybe I'll do pink and purple just because why not? Once again, start with the darker of the two. Tissue, clean off always. Clean off always just to make sure. And I'm going to start with the darker. I'm using my same page. And here I go. Nice firm pressure. Up and down a little bit. Up and down a little bit. And there we go. I got some, don't really see any white there. And I'm going to tap it off. Put that on the side. There we go. So now I'm going to add my pink. cleaned it off already. I'm going to start kind of a little bit up and start blending it in, picking up the color as I go along and pulling it down, going back up, pulling 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 down. Now, I don't know if these are the best pastels, but it still works. And I'm going to go blend a little bit further up here. And there you go. So that's how you can show shading, tints, and shades using white, using a color. I don't know if I would use black for this. I think that with the assignment that we're working on, I think that black is a tough color to use. It kind of takes over everything. But if I wanted to continue this, now another pink would go well with, I could do blue. So I could add on to this if I wanted to. So you might use warm colors or cool colors. But I think I like, or maybe I'll do orange. I think pink and orange might turn out well. I think I'm going to stick with the same kind of color scheme here. And I'm going to actually kind of blend into that and out. I will probably need my pink again to blend a little bit more and keep that one going because this is a little darker than the pink and we always start with dark. And I'm going to go back to my pink, wipe it off, and blend it in here. I'm going to mix it together here and see what happens. I still want to keep a little bit of that solid pink there. And there you go. So I actually created a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a sunset colors, or you want to just do with the blue, you want to just do one color showing tint, showing value that way. You can use whichever method you want for your background, as long as you show that it's good blending techniques. It's not washed out like this where I still see white in the background, and that's pretty much it. So good luck. I can't wait to see what they look like.